Success isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. Success begins long before the world applauds you. It begins in the unseen realm of thought, discipline, and mindset. The difference between the billionaire and the average person is not luck, privilege, or chance. It is mental frequency. The world's most powerful creators, wealth builders, and legacy leavers operate on a completely different mental bandwidth. They've rewired their inner world until it reflects outward in unstoppable momentum. This speech is not about hype. It is not empty motivation. It is about mental architecture for dominance. It is about tearing down the subconscious programming that keeps you broke, stuck, or average, and replacing it with the billionaire blueprint. Napoleon Hill once declared, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Jim Rohn reminded us, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." And Andrew Tate warns, "You must master your mind or be mastered by the world." The purpose of this speech is not simply to inspire you, but to re-engineer you, to reset your inner wiring so you can build unstoppable wealth, clarity, and power. So listen closely. Every word matters. This is the psychology of kings, the operating system of billionaires, and the blueprint for a legacy-driven life. Success isn't magic. It isn't mystery. It's math. It's architecture. It's engineering. The people who rise to the level of billionaires are not ordinary minds with extraordinary luck. They are extraordinary minds that have mastered the inner game of thought. Every person on this planet has 24 hours in a day. Every person breathes the same air, is subject to the same seasons, and bleeds the same blood. But what separates the billionaire from the man living paycheck to paycheck is mental frequency. Most people live in reactive mode. Their mindset is wired to respond to life. If the economy crashes, they panic. If they lose their job, they crumble. If someone criticizes them, their confidence disappears. They are leaves in the wind, blown around by external forces. But billionaires, the ultra-successful, are not reactive. They are directive. They don't wait for the world to give them opportunities. They engineer opportunities. They don't panic when the storm comes. They build bigger sails. They don't complain about the economy. They bend the economy in their favor. This is the billionaire frequency. A mental operating system where life bends to you, not the other way around. Compare the average mind to the billionaire mind. The difference is subtle but enormous. The average person thinks, "I hope things work out." The billionaire thinks, "I will make things work out." The average person asks, "What if I fail?" The billionaire asks, "How many times can I fail and still win?" The average person looks at obstacles and says, "It's impossible." The billionaire looks at obstacles and says, "It's only impossible until it's done." This shift in frequency is not about optimism. It's not about thinking positive in the shallow sense. It's about constructing a belief system so unshakable, so disciplined, and so purpose-driven that you become unstoppable. Napoleon Hill once said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But here's the truth. Most people can conceive big dreams, but they don't believe them. Billionaires believe with obsession. They condition their subconscious until failure isn't an identity, it's just feedback. Think of Jeff Bezos. In 1994, the internet was new. The majority of people couldn't see its potential. Bezos quit a stable job, went all in, and built Amazon from his garage. Most would have said, too risky, too uncertain, too much competition. But Bezos wasn't tuned to the frequency of scarcity. He was tuned to the frequency of opportunity. Or Elon Musk. He poured his PayPal fortune into SpaceX and Tesla and nearly lost everything. Rockets exploded, factories drained cash. But Musk's inner dialogue wasn't, "What if I lose it all?" It was, "I will bend reality until it works." Now, he launches rockets into orbit and runs one of the most valuable car companies on Earth. That's frequency. That's mindset. That's billionaire-level thinking. Here's the cold truth. If your mind isn't programmed for wealth, no amount of hustle will keep it. That's why so many lottery winners end up broke. That's why people with talent stay stuck. The mind must be trained first. Andrew Tate says, "You must master your mind or be mastered by the world." That is the billionaire law. If you don't take control of your inner operating system, society will install one for you, and it will not be designed for greatness. The billionaire doesn't wait for society's approval. He doesn't operate by the rules of mediocrity. He doesn't ask permission to win. He decides to win. Picture two men waking up in the morning. The average man snoozes the alarm, scrolls social media, complains about traffic, and drags himself to work he hates. His frequency is low, reactive, bitter, passive. The billionaire wakes up early, trains his body, reviews his goals, makes decisive moves, and attacks his day with clarity. His frequency is high, focused, driven, deliberate. Same 24 hours, same oxygen, different outcome. Engineering your frequency. This isn't about chance, it's about engineering. Here are practical steps to start shifting your mental frequency today. Audit your input. What are you feeding your mind? Social media noise, gossip, negativity? Replace it with books, podcasts, speeches, and conversations that sharpen your thinking. Train your state. Motion creates emotion. Exercise. Breathe deeply. Move with confidence. Physiology rewires psychology. Set billionaire standards. Average people set goals they hope to hit. Billionaires set standards they refuse to break. Build non-negotiables. I don't waste time. I don't complain. I don't quit. Visualize with intensity. Every day, close your eyes and see your vision already real. Feel the success, the freedom, the impact. The subconscious cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It starts working to make it true. Take ruthless action. Billionaires don't overthink. They decide fast. They act. They adapt. Action tunes your frequency higher than thought alone. Listen to this powerful mantra that billionaires recite to themselves every morning until it's carved into your soul. I am not average. I do not think like the masses. I do not settle for mediocrity. I tune my mind to the frequency of wealth, purpose, and legacy. I bend reality. I create opportunities. I am unstoppable. The difference between you and the billionaire is not destiny. It's frequency. Shift your thoughts, and you shift your world. From this moment on, stop asking, "What if I fail?" Instead, ask, "How do I win so big that failure becomes irrelevant?" Because the truth is simple. The billionaire doesn't wait for life to happen. He engineers life on his terms. Most people think wealth is built by hard work alone. They imagine billionaires as people who simply grind longer, hustle harder, or get luckier. But here's the truth most will never understand. Wealth begins in the subconscious. Your subconscious mind is the operating system running silently beneath your thoughts. It decides what you believe you're worthy of. It dictates how you respond to risk, opportunity, and failure. It programs whether money flows towards you or away from you. If you have a subconscious code of scarcity, you will sabotage opportunities, reject wealth, and remain trapped in cycles of lack. If you install the code of abundance, you will attract opportunities, act with boldness, and multiply results. This is why two people can start at the same point in life, but one becomes wildly successful while the other struggles for decades. It isn't just about skill or luck, it's about mental coding. From childhood, most of us are programmed with scarcity. We hear phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Rich people are greedy," "Be grateful you have enough," "Don't take risks, play it safe." These phrases are seeds planted in your subconscious. They sound harmless, but they grow into mental weeds that choke ambition. They create guilt when you desire wealth. They create fear when you see opportunity. They create hesitation when boldness is required. Scarcity programming whispers, "There isn't enough for everyone. If you win, someone else must lose." But billionaires live in a completely different reality. Their subconscious is coded for abundance. They believe there is more than enough. Wealth is infinite. Value can always be created. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. This is why Warren Buffett sees crises as buying opportunities. This is why Elon Musk sees impossible industries, space travel, electric cars, as playgrounds for wealth creation. Their subconscious isn't wired for fear, it's wired for growth. It's important to understand the hidden beliefs that shape your life. Right now, your bank account is not just a reflection of your work ethic. It is a reflection of your beliefs. If you believe money is evil, you will unconsciously repel it. If you believe you are unworthy of wealth, you will sabotage it. If you believe success is reserved for special people, you will never step into your own greatness. On the other hand, if you believe money is a tool for impact, you will attract it. If you believe you are worthy of success, you will act boldly. If you believe wealth is limitless, you will constantly find new ways to create it. Napoleon Hill taught this principle in Think and Grow Rich. He said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But the missing link is belief. You may conceive it in your imagination, but if your subconscious doesn't believe it, you will never take the actions that bring it to life." Here's the powerful truth. Your subconscious is not fixed. It is programmable. You can overwrite scarcity with abundance. You can uninstall the old system of fear and install a new system of power. How? Through 3 tools: awareness, replacement, and repetition. You must first catch the lies. Write down every negative belief you carry about money and success. Where did it come from? Parents, teachers, society? Recognize that these are not universal truths. They are borrowed scripts. For example, maybe your father always said, "We can't afford that." That statement programmed you with limitation. Awareness allows you to say, "That was his belief, not mine." Once you've caught the lie, replace it with a new belief. Instead of, "I can't afford that," say, "How can I afford that?" Instead of, "Money is the root of evil," say, "Money is the root of freedom and impact." This isn't empty affirmation. It's rewiring. You are literally replacing the code in your subconscious. Your subconscious doesn't change overnight. It changes through constant repetition. This is why billionaires repeat mantras, visualize success, and surround themselves with environments of abundance. They are constantly reinforcing their code. Repetition transforms belief. Belief transforms action. Action transforms destiny. Napoleon Hill revealed that the subconscious cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. When you visualize your future vividly, with emotion, with detail, The subconscious accepts it as real and begins to align your actions accordingly. This is why athletes visualize victories before competitions. This is why top performers rehearse success in their mind before it happens. The billionaire does this daily. They see the business empire before it exists. They see the investments multiplying before they manifest. They live in the future reality before it becomes physical. Your subconscious then becomes a magnet. It pulls opportunities, people, and ideas that match your inner picture. Remember that confidence is a daily practice. Many people think confidence is something you're born with. It's not. Confidence is subconscious programming. It's the product of repeating success beliefs until they become second nature. When you wake up daily and tell yourself, I am capable, I am unstoppable, I am worthy of wealth, your subconscious starts acting as if it's true. And when you act as if it's true, the results reinforce the belief. This cycle compounds into unshakable confidence. Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That discipline doesn't just apply to actions, it applies to your inner dialogue. Discipline your thoughts daily. Train them like a soldier. Make confidence a ritual, not an accident. If you don't take control of your subconscious, it will sabotage you. This is why some people build wealth but lose it. It's why some succeed temporarily but fall back into old patterns. Their subconscious identity wasn't updated. Imagine a man who wins the lottery. Suddenly, he has millions. But deep down, he still believes he is poor. That belief will guide his decisions until the money is gone. His subconscious cannot hold wealth because it is not coded for it. Contrast this with the billionaire. Even if they lose everything, they rebuild. Why? Because their subconscious code is wired for abundance. Their identity is not poor. Their identity is wealth creator. Here's a simple ritual to begin reprogramming your subconscious. Upon waking, declare, I am a wealth creator. Money flows to me because I create massive value. I am worthy of abundance. Spend 5 minutes seeing your goals as already real. See the house, the impact, the freedom. Feel the emotions. Take one decisive action toward your wealth goals. Big or small, action reinforces belief. Before bed, write one win from the day that confirms your abundance. Repeat daily. Over weeks, your subconscious will shift. Over months, your actions will change. Over years, your entire life will reflect the new code. Wealth is built first in the brain, not in the bank. It is built in the hidden code of the subconscious. Scarcity thinking leads to struggle. Abundance thinking leads to unstoppable wealth creation. So ask yourself today, what beliefs am I holding on to that no longer serve me? Then declare, I am rewriting the code. I am the architect of my inner world. I install abundance. I delete scarcity. I create wealth. Because the truth is undeniable. The subconscious code you run will determine the destiny you build. Jim Rohn once said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Think about that for a moment. Goals are everywhere. Millions of people have them. Everyone wants to be rich, successful, respected, admired. Everyone wants financial freedom. But very few actually get it. Why? Because the bridge is missing. The dream is on one side of the river. The accomplishment is on the other side. And the only way to cross is through the bridge of discipline. Without discipline, dreams remain fantasies. Without discipline, ambition collapses under laziness. Without discipline, potential rots into regret. The billionaire understands this. The billionaire is not necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. but he is the most disciplined. He wakes when others sleep. He works when others procrastinate. He commits when others quit. Discipline is not just a habit, it's an identity. It is the daily choice that separates kings from common men. This is why discipline is the ultimate power. Talent can get you started. Luck can give you a push. But only discipline guarantees progress. Imagine two men with the same dream. Both want to build wealth. One wakes early, trains his body, reads daily, sets goals, takes action, reviews progress. The other sleeps late, makes excuses, scrolls his phone, and avoids discomfort. After one day, the difference is invisible. After 1 month, the difference is noticeable. After 1 year, the disciplined man is unrecognizable. After 10 years, one is wealthy and powerful, the other is bitter and broke. Discipline compounds. Every small choice either builds your empire or erodes it. When you study billionaires, you'll notice something striking. Their lives run on systems, not feelings. They don't wake when they feel like it. They wake because it's time to attack the day. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, all structured in their morning routines. They train their bodies not for vanity, but for mental clarity and stamina. Andrew Tate says the gym is non-negotiable because it builds discipline itself. Warren Buffett reads 5 to 6 hours daily. Bill Gates devours books. Knowledge compounds, but only if you are disciplined enough to pursue it daily. They schedule blocks of undistracted, high-output work. The average man multitasks and dilutes his energy. The billionaire focuses and multiplies his impact. They review progress, track habits, refine strategies. Jim Rohn called this the discipline of journaling, the practice of capturing lessons so mistakes don't repeat. Notice the pattern. None of this depends on mood. It's discipline. Here's the truth. If you rely on motivation, you will fail. Motivation is a spark. It comes and goes. Discipline is the engine. It keeps going regardless of how you feel. The billionaire doesn't wake up excited every day. He wakes up committed every day. Discipline is identity. You must stop saying, "I'll try to be disciplined." You must start saying, "I am disciplined." Identity drives behavior. If you identify as a disciplined man, you will act accordingly even when it's hard. Think about soldiers. They don't ask, "Do I feel like training today?" They train because they are soldiers. Identity comes first, action follows. What happens if you lack discipline? You pay the price in regret. The man who refuses discipline will work a job he hates for decades, struggle financially because he spends more than he earns, watch his health decline from poor habits, live in quiet resentment of himself. The pain of regret is far worse than the pain of discipline. Discipline stings in the short term, but regret destroys in the long term. Jim Rohn warned, "We must all suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret." The difference is that discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Billionaires choose the ounces daily so they never face the tons later. Discipline is not punishment. It's not cruelty. It's self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, you build trust in your own word. Every time you say, "I'll wake up early," and you do it, your self-respect grows. Every time you say, "I'll work out," and you show up, your self-belief strengthens. The man without discipline cannot trust himself. He promises himself changes, but breaks them daily. He erodes his confidence. He drowns in shame. The disciplined man, even before the results come, walks with power because he knows, when I decide, I deliver. This is the billionaire advantage. They are not superhuman. They are simply men who keep promises to themselves. Discipline multiplies opportunity. Opportunities do not go to the lazy, they go to the prepared. The disciplined man attracts chances others miss because he is ready. He shows up early. He delivers with consistency. He performs when others procrastinate. People trust him. Investors trust him. Teams trust him. Opportunities multiply where discipline is present. To install discipline in your life, start simple. Build daily systems that eliminate choice and enforce action. Wake early. Don't negotiate with the alarm. Discipline begins the moment you open your eyes. Exercise daily, even 30 minutes. Train the body, train the will. Read daily. Feed your mind with knowledge that compounds. Plan tomorrow. Tonight, set priorities before you sleep. Wake with clarity. One non-negotiable goal. Every day, achieve at least one major task that moves you forward. Remember, it's better to be consistent in small things than inconsistent in big things. Start small. Build momentum. Discipline grows like muscle. Say this to yourself daily until it becomes identity. I do not rely on motivation. I am disciplined. I keep promises to myself. I suffer the short pain of discipline to avoid the crushing weight of regret. My habits build my legacy. My discipline builds my empire. Dreams without discipline are hallucinations. Goals without discipline are empty wishes. The billionaire doesn't gamble on motivation. He builds his bridge brick by brick, habit by habit, until the dream becomes the reality. Remember Jim Rohn's truth. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. If you build the bridge, nothing can stop you. If you refuse to build it, nothing can save you. Andrew Tate once said, "You must master your mind or be mastered by the world." That statement cuts through the noise of modern life. Because in today's world, weakness is celebrated, comfort is glorified, and distraction is constant. The average man has been trained to soften, to surrender his drive, to give away his masculine edge. And the result is everywhere. Men without purpose, drifting without ambition, addicted to entertainment, enslaved by distraction, living lives of quiet frustration. But the billionaire mindset rejects weakness. The billionaire embodies masculine drive and power. He does not apologize for his ambition. He does not dilute his purpose. He channels his masculine energy to dominate his environment, to create wealth, to protect his vision, and to build a legacy that echoes through generations. Masculine drive is not about aggression. It is not about ego. It is about direction, clarity, and relentless pursuit of purpose. Look around. Society conditions men to numb their instincts. Instant gratification, endless scrolling, junk food, alcohol, pornography, all designed to pacify masculine energy. Why? Because a man without drive is easy to control. The average man wastes hours every day chasing pleasure instead of progress. His strength decays, his willpower fades, his ambition dies. But billionaires, they protect their drive like treasure. They don't drown it in distractions. They sharpen it daily through discipline, focus, and hardship. Masculine drive thrives under pressure. It grows stronger when tested. That is why the billionaire is drawn to challenges most men run from. He seeks the difficult path because he knows difficulty forges dominance. The core of masculine power. Purpose. Masculine energy without purpose becomes destructive. Masculine energy with purpose becomes unstoppable. Every great empire, every invention, every breakthrough was built by men possessed by purpose. Purpose is the guiding star. Purpose turns struggle into fuel. Purpose transforms sacrifice into honor. Napoleon Hill called this definiteness of purpose. He said that without a clear and definite purpose, no man could succeed at a high level. The billionaire does not chase money for the sake of money. He chases a vision so large that wealth becomes the natural byproduct. Bezos wasn't obsessed with dollars. He was obsessed with revolutionizing commerce. Musk wasn't obsessed with status. He was obsessed with colonizing Mars and accelerating human innovation. Purpose fuels masculine drive. Without it, men wither. With it, men become legends. Masculine drive begins in the body. A weak body breeds a weak mind. This is why billionaires and high performers train relentlessly. Physical training is not about vanity. It is about mental dominance. Andrew Tate emphasizes this. The gym is not optional. It's where discipline is forged. When you push your body beyond comfort, you teach your mind to obey. You learn to conquer laziness, resistance, and weakness. A disciplined body becomes a disciplined mind, and a disciplined mind becomes an unstoppable force. The billionaire treats his body as a temple of power. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, all optimized. Because he knows his body is the engine that drives his empire. Ask yourself today, where are you losing your drive? Are you wasting hours on entertainment that gives nothing back? Are you numbing yourself with substances instead of sharpening yourself with struggle? Are you surrounding yourself with weak men who normalize mediocrity? Are you hiding from responsibility instead of embracing it? Every leak drains power. Every indulgence kills discipline. Every wasted hour erodes legacy. The billionaire plugs the leaks. He cuts toxic habits. He eliminates weak influences. He builds environments that reinforce strength, not weakness. Masculine drive equals creation and protection. True masculine energy expresses itself in two primal ways: to create and to protect. To create wealth, businesses, innovations, families, legacies. Masculine drive is inherently creative. It takes nothing and turns it into something. The skyscrapers, the companies, the technologies of the world, all built by men who refuse to be average, to protect values, families, empires, missions. Masculine drive guards what it builds. The billionaire defends his vision with ferocity. He does not allow critics, doubters, or enemies to derail him. Creation and protection are the twin engines of masculine power. When you align your energy with these instincts, you stop living passively and start living as a builder and protector. Most people live in a prison of scarcity. They wake up every morning thinking about what they don't have, what they can't afford, what's missing in their life. Scarcity is a disease. It shrinks the mind, suffocates creativity, and chains men to mediocrity. Scarcity whispers, "There isn't enough. Play it safe. Hold on tightly to what little you have." And so average people live small. They fear risk. They cling to security. They never expand. But the billionaire? He doesn't think in scarcity. He engineers abundance. He programs his mind to expand, to multiply, to create more than enough. He knows the truth. Wealth is infinite because human creativity is infinite. Scarcity is the mindset of those who have surrendered their power. It was useful for survival thousands of years ago, when food was limited, when danger was constant. But in today's world, scarcity is poison. Scarcity-trained minds avoid opportunity. They focus on cost instead of value. They look at what something takes instead of what it can create. For example, when the average man sees a $10,000 investment, he thinks, "That's too much. I can't afford it." But the billionaire sees the same $10,000 and asks, if I put this in, how much more can I create? Can I multiply it into $100,000? $1 million? The difference is night and day. Scarcity paralyzes, abundance mobilizes. Remember that abundance is built, not found. People think abundance is luck, that it only belongs to the chosen few. Wrong. Abundance is engineered. It's created by training your mind, your habits, and your environment. Abundance begins with belief. The belief that opportunity is everywhere. The billionaire walks into a room and sees possibility in every face, every conversation, every connection. The average man walks into the same room and sees nothing. The truth is, the world is overflowing with money, resources, and opportunities. Every day, billions of dollars move. Industries expand, technologies emerge, fortunes shift. The question is not, is there enough? The question is, am I tuned into the flow of abundance or trapped in scarcity? Abundance is not a bank account balance. It's a way of thinking. Abundance expands energy. Scarcity contracts it. Abundance sees doors opening. Scarcity sees walls closing. Abundance asks, what can this create? Scarcity asks, what does this take away? Abundance takes calculated risks. Scarcity clings to comfort. The billionaire mind always chooses expansion. Success is not just about making money. It is not just about stacking dollars or acquiring toys. It is about the legacy you leave behind. The ultra-successful, the top billionaires, the true kings of their industries. Think in terms of decades, dynasties, and destiny. If you listen closely to their words, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. They rarely speak only about today. Their vision extends to tomorrow, next year, the next 20 years. They are not playing checkers. They are playing chess with time itself. And that is where the final frequency of wealth exists, the legacy frequency. Money by itself is shallow if it is not tied to a deeper mission. Napoleon Hill taught us, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But he also reminded us that achievement is empty without definiteness of purpose. Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But what lies beyond the bridge? What's on the other side of your goals? It is impact. Andrew Tate warns, you must master your mind or be mastered by the world. True mastery is not only about survival or winning. It is about dominating the narrative of your life so that when you are gone, your name still commands respect. Legacy is what remains when the applause fades, when the bank account no longer excites you, when the cars feel ordinary, when the houses become just bricks and glass. Legacy is who you became, what you built, and who you lifted up along the way. The average man lives paycheck to paycheck. The successful man lives month to month. The wealthy man lives year to year. But the billionaire? The billionaire lives in generations. When Jeff Bezos built Amazon, he wasn't thinking about one good quarter. He wasn't even thinking about a decade. He said openly, we're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time. That is generational thinking. When Elon Musk pours billions into rockets that may not pay off for decades, he isn't thinking about immediate ROI. He is thinking in terms of human civilization. That is billionaire frequency. This kind of thinking rewires your brain. It forces you to stop obsessing about the small now and start creating the large later. Your question should shift from, how much money can I make this year? To, what foundation am I building that will echo when I am gone? Listen carefully. If you're tired of weak habits, tired of scarcity, tired of living in cycles of mediocrity, it ends here. This isn't just motivation. This is mental reprogramming. This is billionaire psychology hardwired into your mind. You've learned about abundance. You've learned about discipline. You've learned about mindset architecture, masculine drive, and legacy creation. Now it's time to live it. Wake up tomorrow not as the same person, but as someone carrying the mental DNA of giants. Install these frameworks. Repeat these principles daily. Act as though you already are who you aspire to be. Because once the subconscious accepts the new program, you will live it. Napoleon Hill gave us the blueprint. Jim Rohn gave us the bridge. Andrew Tate gave us the urgency. And now you have the call to action. The billionaire doesn't ask, "Can I do it?" He says, "It will be done." The billionaire doesn't hope, he engineers. The billionaire doesn't leave behind a life. He leaves behind a legacy. This is your reset. This is your line in the sand. From this day forward, no more scarcity, no more mediocrity, no more weak habits. You are now aligned with wealth, clarity, power, and legacy. Listen daily, apply relentlessly. Think like successful billionaires. And remember, money fades. Legacy endures. Build yours now.